Rolling Stone contributor and editor Joe Levy is here with us. Thanks so much for joining us.
Good to be here.
He had such an impressive career. How did he shape the music industry and pop culture over the years?
In so many different ways, visually, musically, how he acted. Remember that when David Bowie came out as bisexual in the early 70s, it was a word that a lot of people weren't familiar with, an idea people weren't familiar with. Later in the 70s, he reached out to electronic dance music, to the sounds that Donna Summer was making, and brought that into rock and roll. He was constantly changing, always on the edge, always looking for and bringing to us that next thing.
Yeah, it occurred to me when we heard about this news that David Bowie was the type of performer that he was depending on when you discovered him. Because I was thinking about when did I first hear about David Bowie?
Which David Bowie did you find?
And it was the Let's Dance, China Girl.
David Bowie.
It was a great. And I was a kid. Underneath after bedtime listening to the radio. And then much later, I discovered this Ziggy Stardust character. And I couldn't understand who this person was. Is this David Bowie? Is it not David Bowie? It blew my mind that there was a completely different career before I discovered him.
Isn't that amazing? And that's exactly what he wanted to do. That kind of theatricality was almost brand new in the world of rock and roll. He was looking to Japanese theater and to so many different things right there in 1972. And what happened, the reaction he got that you and I didn't live through in the early 70s, was kids putting on face paint, makeup, tight clothes, glitter, pushing their own sexuality into new areas, guys looking like girls, girls looking like guys. That was David Bowie. He did that.
Yeah, but he always stayed authentic.
I think that's right, although authentic is a funny word to use with someone who called his own music at one point plastic soul. He challenged the notion of authenticity. He was happy with the surface. He was interested in the surface, how things look. And again, that was something new, that interest in fashion. Well, okay, rockers were always interested in fashion, but they didn't always look like that. Yeah. I mean, he looked strange sometimes.
Yeah.
And he was someone who kept creating right to the end.
Can we talk a little bit about, speaking of right to the end, his latest album was released on Friday.
And on his birthday.
On his birthday.
His 69th
the
birthday.
Reviews were pretty good by and large. I think a lot of people are looking at the songs now a little differently now that we know what we know. What was your take on
the album? Is called Black Star. There's a song on it called Lazarus, which is also the name of a stage show that has just gone up that he was involved in.
And Lazarus, the Bible character who...
And of course, Lazarus is that clip we just saw. There's a video for it. He's in a hospital bed. His face is bandaged. He knew what was happening to him. He was commenting on it. We did not know. And so when that album came out on Friday, it was initially received separate from this news. It will now be reevaluated. But he used his art to face down his mortality and to shape his mortality and what we will be saying about it. This is something that not every artist, not many artists get the opportunity to do. Yeah. That is, there's always a last artistic statement, but you don't always know when it will be.
Such powerful lyrics there. Joe Levy, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.